that the National Nurses United is endorsing Senator Bernie Sanders, friend, human rights champion, for the President of the United States. And you know what's different about Bernie? He'll be the president for all people. And now, with great pleasure, let me introduce our endorsed candidate, the next President of the United States, and don't let anyone tell you that can't happen, Senator Bernie Sanders.
Whoa. Thank you all. Thank you all very much for being here. I know that you live under crazy schedules. You agree? And let me thank Roseanne and Debbie and Kelly and Linda and Kimberly for those wonderful words. I'm not often speechless, you know. As my wife will tell you. But I am humbled and enormously appreciative for your support. And the reason for that is that I know how enormously important is the work that you do every single day and every day of the year. You are the backbone of our healthcare system. And on behalf of the people of America, I want to thank each and every one of you for the work that you do. You are there bringing babies into this world, and you are there when people leave this planet, leave this earth. And you're there comforting people. You're comforting kids who get sick and people and families who are living with healthcare trauma. It is not an easy job. And the work that you do and nurses all over this country comfort millions and millions of people every year. So I want to thank you very much. But as I mentioned to Roseanne a few minutes ago, I also want to thank you for something special. It's not only the work that you do every day, but your understanding that for you to do the quality work that you want to do, which is to provide the best quality health care to every man, woman, and child, you understand that just being a nurse is not enough. We have to change the healthcare system in America. We have to change boldly and fundamentally the priorities of this nation so that every American can experience the right to live with dignity, and so that not almost all of our wealth and income is going to the top 1%. And I applaud you for that. You work hard every day, but you understand that we have got to do more in order to provide the quality care that people need and for you to do your jobs in the way that you want to do it. You do not want to see patients not being able to afford the prescription drugs being written. You do not want to see people hesitating to walk into an office because they don't have any health insurance or the deductibles are too high. And all of you and I are going to continue the fight to guarantee that health care is a right of all people. That we invest in nurses and in doctors and in medicine, not in the profits of insurance companies or drug companies. The National Nurses Union United and I have worked together on a number of important issues. We've worked on the nursing shortage in this country. We need to make it a national priority to work together to train more nurses, and that is exactly what I intend to do. It makes no sense to me that when we need nurses, we need doctors, we need dentists, we need more people involved in healthcare, that when people leave school for the crime of wanting to be involved in healthcare, they have enormous debts. That makes no sense. And that is why I work to triple funding for the National Health Service Corps for those nurses and doctors who are going to work in underserved areas. And that is why, as Roseanne mentioned, we have legislation in that I will fight to implement as president that will make every public college and university in America tuition free. I want every young person in this country who wishes to become a nurse, who needs to get the education that he or she requires, I want them to be able to do that regardless of the income of their families. But when we talk about transforming America, when we talk about creating an economy that works for all of us and not just the people on top, there is much that has to be done. And I've been very proud to work with your union in telling Wall Street that they are going to have to start paying their fair share of taxes. It makes no sense to me that after we bailed out Wall Street, you bailed out Wall Street, CEOs in the major financial institutions are doing better financially today than they've ever done. It makes no sense to me that a kid with marijuana can get a criminal record, but people who destroy the economy get away scot-free. What our campaign, and congratulations, you're in it right now. What our campaign is about is creating a political revolution which says to the billionaire class, they can't have it all. This country, our government, belong to all of us. It is not acceptable to me, nor I think to you, that the top 1/10 of 1% now own almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. It is not acceptable to me that over half of all new income created in America today goes to the top 1%. It is not acceptable that in recent years we have seen a proliferation of millionaires and billionaires while ordinary Americans are working longer hours for lower wages, and we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth. Unacceptable. We are going to change that. As we go forth in this campaign, and your endorsement to me is a major, major step forward, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. As we go forward, it is imperative that we think big, not small. That we bring forth a vision which the vast majority of Americans support, not only of a nation where every man, woman, and child has health care as a right. Not only a nation where everybody can afford the prescription drugs that are prescribed to them. A nation in which every person can get a college education regardless of his or her income. A nation in which we do not have unemployment rates for our young people of over 40%, but we create millions of jobs for our working people. A nation in which we have a tax system which is fair, which says to the billionaires, you can't have it all, you're going to start paying your fair share of taxes. A nation which leads the world in helping to transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. A nation that says to our children and our grandchildren, and I've got 7 of them, we are going to leave you a planet that is habitable. So think big. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. But nobody knows it because almost all of the wealth rests in the hands of a few. There is no reason, as Roseanne said, no reason why we are the only major country on earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people. There is no reason why we are the only major country on earth that does not have a family and medical leave policy which guarantees time and funds for women who have babies. We cannot be the only major country on earth that doesn't have paid sick time, paid vacation time. Our vision is to create a child care system of the highest quality so that when mom and dad go to work, they know that their kids will be in safe hands and get the highest quality care imaginable. Over the last 30 years, there has been a massive redistribution of wealth. Problem is that redistribution has gone in the wrong direction. It's gone from the middle class and working families to the top 0.1%. And what we are saying is enough is enough. We're going to bring that money back to the middle class. All of you know that in recent years we have seen an explosion of technology which makes almost every worker in America more productive. You tell me why it is that when workers are more productive, they're working longer hours for lower wages. Doesn't make sense. So getting back to the Woody Guthrie song that we marched in today, this land does belong to you and me. It belongs to all of us and not a handful of billionaires who are using this Citizens United Supreme Court decision to buy the United States government. And one of my first orders of business as president will be to do everything that I can to overturn Citizens United and to move toward public funding of elections so that people can run for office without being dependent on billionaires. Roseanne mentioned super PACs. And what a disgrace it is that what politics has become is that candidates are going out looking for a sugar daddy, looking for a billionaire. It's like these NASCAR races, with badges on it. Hey, I'm sponsored by the Koch brothers. I'm sponsored by Sheldon Adelson. I'm sponsored by ExxonMobil. Well, I am sponsored by you. And I would a million times over, as somebody who doesn't have a super PAC, doesn't want money from billionaires, I would a million times over prefer to be supported by you than any of the billionaires out there. Thank you all very much.